Today we're doing module for exponents and exponential function N.RN.2 level 2 reteach. Simplify each expression. So we have to look for the perfect square or the perfect cube or the perfect fourth or the perfect fifth, whatever is perfect. So when I see 45, if you go back to that table at the very last page of your notes, you look under that second column, I'm looking for the biggest perfect square. So I start at the top, never use 1. Then I go to 2. Can 4 go in to 45? No. Does 9 go into 45? Oh, yes. So in my mind, this is how I do it. I do 9 times 5. I take the perfect square root of 9 is 3, so 3 square root of 5. Now, taking a look at this one, I need to find the biggest, not the smallest, the biggest perfect square. So the biggest perfect square would be, so I'd start on the bottom. Now, I know I could, there's 2 ways of doing this, and I'm going to show you it. The two ways of doing it is if I go, like I said, I start with 1, never do 1, go to 4, and then I could do 9 times 8. And then you take the square root of 9, which would be 2 times 3 square root of 8. But this 8, there's something perfect in 8. You can't have that. So this would be 6, and then I know it's 4 times 2, and that would get me a 2, so it would be 6 times 2, 2, so that would get me 12 square root of 2. Now, that's the scenic route. Now, one of my favorite things to do when I have big numbers, I always divide by 2. Maybe I can find the perfect square in it. So when I divide by 2, I notice that I had a 36. I notice on the second column, I see 36. So then it's 2 times 6, which is going to get me 12 square root of 2. You have to make sure this number in here is prime. That means there can't be any other biggest perfect square. So if you gave me this as your answer up here, 6 square root of 8, that's not going to work because it's not done. Now this one, I have to break it down. So I'm going to put my parentheses. I know this 3 goes on the outside, 343 and a 2. Now I'm going to go on the third column and I'm going to see what's the cube root of 343. And I notice it's 7. Then I bring the 2 and 7 times 7 is 49. Taking a look at the next one. So I'm going to again put this in here. I know it's 36x to the 6. Now technically there's the 2 here, but I never write that 2. So then I just have to take the square root of 36, which is 6. Now exponents. Since this is a 2 here, I'm thinking it's 6 divided by 2 because 6 is even. Even exponents are perfect when you have a square root. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think right here. So my answer would be 6x to the third. Now this one is a cubed root. So I'm going to look on my third column and I'm going to look for the biggest one. And now here's my hint. If I see 50, I'm going to like, oh yeah, let's look for something that has 25. I divide that and I notice 125 times 6. Now, this is 3, so I have to do multiples of 3 for my exponents. So I got to break this down to p to the third and p. 3 plus 1 is 4. Now, for me, I like to underline the ones that are perfect. The cube root of 125 is 5. Then I think about this. This is what I'm doing in my head. 3 divided by 3 is just p. And then I'm going to left with 6p, and then I put my cube. Taking a look at this one. Again, I'm going to use my third column. I'm going to start at the top, and I notice that there's 64. So I took 64, divide that, and I got 64 times 5, and then I got to break this down. I got to get something that goes into 3. Oh, yes, n to the 6, n to the second. 6 plus 2 is 8. This could be divided by 3, which is what I'm looking for. The cubed of 64 is 4, so 2 times 4. And then this is what I'm thinking, 6 divided by 3, which is going to get me 6 divided by 3 is n to the second. And then I'm going to get 5n to the second. Oh, and I got to do 2 times 5, so it's 8n to the second. 5n to the second. 6 divided by 3 is 2. taking a look at the next one. I gotta get this one. So I'm gonna go on my second column, never use 1, and I notice, 4. 4 times 7. Again, I gotta break down this exponent. I gotta look for 2's, multiples of 2. So it's x to the 8 and x and y to the 6. I underline the ones that are perfect. The square root of 4 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I'm going to get 7x. And that would be my final answer. Taking a look at this one. Again, I'm going on the cubed root side, and I'm going to look down, and I notice that 27 times 4 can go in here, and then n to the 2nd. Now, the only number that can come out is 24. 2 is not 3, so I can't take that out. The cube root of 27 is 3, so 4 times 3, and then 3, and then I'm going to get 4n to the 2nd, so I'm going to get 12. 3, 4, n to the 2nd. And finally, this one, I'm going to put a 3 here. I know the 8 to the 2nd, and I'm going to take 8 to the 2nd, which is 64. The cubed of 64 equals 4, and my final answer is 4. Thanks for listening, and have a fantastic day.